Some theorists believe that Beyoncé was deeply in love with Tupac, and this was also one of the reasons why Jay-Z was so jealous of Tupac.
If Pac was here, who you think the girl would have been with? Hold up. It's about being with the biggest, huh? He was the first of his kind, and he always felt like if the girl was the best and she was the biggest, he wanted the best and the biggest.
Snoop Dogg has revealed some juicy insider news about Tupac and Jay-Z. Snoop thinks the rivalry between the two legendary rappers goes way beyond just music. Jay-Z was afraid Tupac would steal Beyoncé, and he hated him for it. Why did Jay-Z assume this about Tupac? Let's find out. Tupac was an icon in the music industry. For him, success wasn't a slow, hard process. In fact, he shot to the top of the ladder as soon as he started making music. That is because Tupac was a class apart from the other rappers. His music was the best of its kind, and there weren't many rappers who could give him any competition. Even Snoop Dogg agrees that if Tupac were still here, so many of the big names in the hip-hop community would have never made it this big. It's clear that Snoop Dogg thinks rappers like Jay-Z made it big today because Tupac left the world too early. Had he been alive, other rappers would have struggled to compete with him. Jay-Z had a beef with Tupac during his life over their place in the hip-hop world, but he dropped this rivalry when Tupac passed away. He even scrapped the diss track he had made for Tupac. The producer for the diss track told the reason why it never came out. It never came out of respect for the fact that he died. Jay did a record going at Pac, but just as it was about to come out, son, Tupac died. We performed it though. We performed it once. You have to understand, the chip on Jay's shoulder is so crazy. It's just like he had to perform it. Tupac was a star so big that he had no trouble whether it be smashing the charts or pulling all the girls. Everyone was mad about Tupac and the girls loved him. Other rappers also admit that Tupac was everybody's favorite. And if he set his mind to date a girl, nothing and nobody could stop him. Rapper Gipp explained why he thought Beyoncé would have been with Tupac had he been alive.
His track record kind of reflected that. Will Smith, we got Jada, we got Faith, we got Colada, we got Left Eye. He always went after the girls of the day.
It seems like this was also a big fear among the other rappers. They weren't just competing with Tupac over who made the better music, but they even had to compete with him when it came to girls. And this was certainly a bigger issue for some than just music. Having your girlfriend or wife leave you for another man is a much bigger blow to your self-respect than losing to someone on the music charts. Not only did Tupac have a habit of going after other rappers' girls, he even took this as a means of avenging whoever wronged him. Tupac very openly did this to Biggie. He slept with his wife just to throw it in Biggie's face and diss him. It was all a planned scheme that even he told his then girlfriend about.
Musically, he was going to crush them. Success. And then he was going to one of his bitches.
This made a lot of rappers mad at Tupac, including Jay-Z. Jay-Z was dating one of the biggest stars in the world, so it's clear he was threatened by Tupac stealing his girl. These feelings were made worse by the fact that everyone talked so openly about it in front of the rapper. Rapper Spice One, who used to be pretty close to Tupac, says that comparing Tupac and Jay-Z is useless, since Tupac is on an entirely different level than Jay-Z.
Jay-Z was a good lyricist and a good artist. Like, dope as but Pac was a whole nother monster, dude. That was a whole different fucking monster.
Jay-Z was always compared with Tupac for his music, and everyone admitted that Tupac is better. Famous rapper Melly Mel explained that even though Jay-Z had a better rap game than Tupac, he could never really impact hip-hop the way Tupac did.
I feel Tupac is a great, his imprint on the game is greater than Jay-Z.
This must have really stung Jay-Z to see all his fellow rappers openly admitting that he isn't as good as his competition. Spice One always says the same thing, that Jay-Z has failed to accomplish in his whole career the sort of achievements Tupac had at just 25 years of age. A lot of people still think that the reason Jay-Z made it so far up in the music industry was not because of his music at all, but because of his relationship with Beyoncé. Beyoncé is a much bigger star than Jay-Z without a doubt. In fact, she's one of the biggest artists of all time. So Jay-Z being Beyoncé's man has done wonders for his career as well. The Goody Mob member Gipp spoke about this in one of his interviews while saying, "Only reason you inching Jay-Z past Tupac is because he got goddamn Beyoncé. You take Beyoncé away, he ain't got shit. Bar for bar, yeah, he might rap better than Pac, but Pac came with heart. That's different. It's just different. You can never beat the heart, bro." Gibb went on to say that Tupac would have been unstoppable had he not been murdered brutally. That man had so many talents that rappers like Jay-Z never stood a chance. That boy was a triple threat. He did groups that was successful, solo albums that was successful, and movies that was successful. Hands down, if he had lived, he would have smoked everything walking. If his music was the only thing with Jay-Z had to compete with Tupac, then he probably wouldn't have been this jealous of the rapper. But the bigger problem was that Tupac had a habit of stealing girlfriends. And if there was one person out there who had the biggest threat, it was Jay-Z. Beyoncé was all the rage back in the 90s, as she continues to be today. Jay-Z getting in a relationship with her was a huge step up for Jay-Z. That instantly put him in the front row of the music industry. People took Jay-Z more seriously after he started dating Beyoncé. But Jay-Z was afraid that Tupac would do to him what he had done to numerous other opponents. If Tupac went ahead and tried to get with Beyoncé, Jay-Z would be destroyed, along with his reputation and his career. Gibb called the habit of Tupac in his interview, where he recounted all the women who were with other celebrities and proceeded to date Tupac. It's not surprising that Jay-Z was insanely jealous and apprehensive about Tupac. What was the guarantee that Tupac would respect his and Beyoncé's relationship and not make any passes at Jay-Z's girl? With everyone around Jay-Z speculating that Beyoncé would leave him for Tupac, his jealousy and possessiveness must be over the roof. Jay-Z has been with Beyoncé for over 20 years, and his love for her has been evident in everything. He wanted to create a family with Beyoncé and wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. You can clearly see it in their bond that Jay-Z has no place for drama or pettiness when it comes to Beyoncé. So when he got in a beef with Tupac, the first thing Jay-Z worried about was his relationship. Beyoncé was at the top of the music industry, and the common speculation was that she would get with the male artist that was at the top of the hip-hop world. Everybody started talking about how Beyoncé and Tupac were better suited for each other because of their successful careers and their fame. But that isn't how love works after all. Tupac was one of the most charismatic artists that the music industry had ever had. He had a short career and died at only 25, but even in this little time, he cemented himself as one of the best rappers of all time. Everyone was jealous of him, and every rapper was being compared to him. Tupac was well aware of the power he had on women, and always used it to his advantage. He wanted the best of the best, and he was never afraid to go after it. This made artists like Jay-Z really afraid of Tupac. Some fans think that people were just jealous of Jay-Z and want to discredit his career and his achievements. That's why they bring up Tupac to compare and speculate whether Beyoncé would have left Jay-Z for him. One fan tweeted in support of Jay-Z saying, "It's a sign of Jay's greatness that everybody gotta say something. Every time I think about Big Gipp trying to give Beyoncé to Tupac posthumously, I nearly bust a gut laughing. Jay got dudes and they feelings." Others think that it isn't surprising that Jay-Z would be afraid of Tupac, considering Tupac was insanely famous among women. A fan wrote, "Every black woman in the entertainment industry in the 90s has a story they'd like to share about Tupac. It's a testament to his ability to connect with women." That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.